What are some red flags of a bad friendship? Every time you're finished hanging out you feel worse than you did before. That's a sign of a bad friend. Edit. Damn. Thank you so much. Really didn't think this comment would blow up. Thank you to the two anonymous folks for the silver and gold. Holy, this is so cool. Let's all watch out for those people in our life that don't make us feel good. Cheers. Walking on eggshells. Constantly worrying if what you say is going to make them mad when they can lean on you whenever they need you, but you can't lean on them. Edit. Can't believe this blew up. Trying to read as many of your stories as I can, and I just wanted to say I hope things get better. Sending a wave of love to everyone. Being dismissive of all your interests and achievements. Meanwhile everything they do, no matter how mundane, is amazing. You see you got a private message from them, and your gut reaction is to start getting nervous or anxious. What is it this time? When you call them out on bad behavior they act like the victim. Major red flag this one is. When you never hear from them, unless they need something. They act just fine whenever they invite you over, and then as soon as someone else comes into the picture, their whole attitude changes. They begin treating you with disrespect, just to try and act cool in front of their new friend. Continually feeling like you want to say something, but should hold your tongue. When one person is always right and one person is always wrong. Flaking on engagements with you, and only talking about themselves without asking about how you are doing. When they embarrass you in front of your other friends, and don't apologize later. When you overhear them making plans, seemingly fun plans you'd enjoy, with your other friends. I'm antisocial but it still hurts. Asking would be nice. Edit. I'm probably the problem in my case, but this is still a red flag for normal functioning humans. And to clarify, I do not reject them constantly. Maybe it was poorly worded, but by antisocial I meant I find it can be more stressful than worth to make plans. But if someone else is happy to make plans I'd enjoy, I'll happily come. Friend, hey, you wanna come with us to McDonald's? You, yay sure, why not? At McDonald's. Friend, hey man, I got no money on me. Mind if you get me some food? I'll pay you back. You, oh yeah, I got you. 1 week later. Friend, hey, you wanna come with us to McDonald's? You, yay sure, why not? At McDonald's. Friend, hey man, I got no money on me. Mind if you get me some food? I'll pay you back. You, oh yeah, I got you, but you didn't pay me back last time. Friend, don't worry, I'll pay you back double. You, alright. Fast forward a year later. Friend, hey, you wanna come with us to McDonald's? You, yay sure, why not? At McDonald's. Friend, hey man, I got no money on me. Mind if you get me some food? I'll pay you back. You, this is Big Mac 30. Pay me my $176.46. Stay away from freeloaders, guys. All your interactions with them are on their terms, not on yours. Obviously, everyone's different, and so you'll always have to make some kinds of compromises when you do something with another person, whether that's picking things to do that neither of you love, but both of you enjoy, or picking things that one person loves one day and the other the next. But if you find that you're constantly having to put some part of your personality or interests aside in order to interact with someone on their terms instead of yours, that's not a healthy friendship. And that doesn't have to inherently be anything wrong with you or them, or make either of you bad people, which is why it can be so hard to break off a friendship like that. But if you're not on an equal footing, it's not going to be healthy or helpful for either of you. When they don't give back the pen you once lent to them in school, they deny the whole exchange. I know you're out there, John. If they talk on another person to you then pretend to be that person's friend to their face, guess what they are talking about when you're not around? Edit. This is a general rule of mine and it obviously doesn't fit everybody. There's times when it's okay to talk about friends, but there is definitely a line. I don't need you all to define that line for me. As a rule of thumb, do they make your life better? If not, then it's not a good friendship. I came to this realization with a couple of long-term friends I had from back in the day. They would never really do anything nice for you. We basically just hung out of habit. You couldn't expect them to be there for you if you needed a favor, even small ones. With one there was also constant ribbing. He'd play it off as joking, but it was closer to insults. I eventually came to the realization that these guys don't make my life better in any way. I can replace them with people who actually give a. This may come off as selfish sounding, but you have to remember to reciprocate and be a good friend too. If your friend needs a favor and it's not unreasonable and you can do it, then do it. If you're always there for a friend and they don't reciprocate, then you're just being used. If you're not there for your friend, but expect them to be there for you, then you're the one who is a tool. Always insulting you, insisting it's a joke, getting upset if you say anything back. It might sound obvious, but it took me way too long to realize what a problem it was, and even longer to realize I didn't have to put up with it. You're putting all the work into the friendship. Had one friend who I was really close with in college and shortly after. Were roommates a couple times for about 3.5 years. After I moved out the last time, and for about 5 years after that, I realized the initiating of hanging out, even though we were in the same town, nearly always started with me. Him RSVPing yes to my wedding, then blowing it off was the last straw. My wedding was over the holidays, so I expected some people not to be able to make it, but no phone call, no text to say sorry man, family stuff came up. Pretty emo. When you feel that their compliments are just an attempted emotional investment to get you to do something for them in the near future. When you're going through a hard time and they distance themselves from you. I'd been friends with my ex since we broke up, and she suddenly stopped talking to me while I was in a really bad place and she saw something that indicated I might relapse. I've been sober like 8 months, and she said basically don't speak to me again, and cancelled our upcoming plans. The reality was, I was just using the post as a way to vent, because my last support system in my life disappeared, so I just needed someone to talk to. But I've had more or less the same experience with everyone I've called a friend. But you know what? Good riddance to all those people. If I'm around long enough, maybe I'll find friends and girlfriends who don't abandon me. You are drained after you hang out. Edit, not drained in the sense where an introvert feels drained by social interaction. Other posters said it better than I did. It's drained in the sense that you give everything to this person in terms of attention and receive little in return. It's the friend who can quite literally only talk about themselves for hours and hours. It's usually about some trivial problem they've decided they want to psychoanalyze yet again. Bonus points for exhausting amounts of repetition and reaching years into the past to retread old ground. You are lucky to get a word on edgewise. If you do get a word in, friend will turn that convo back to their interests whiplash fast. Rinse, repeat into infinity. 1. They only talk to you when they need/want something. 2. They bring you into unnecessary drama. 3. They tell all your secrets. 4. They make you feel bad about yourself when you go to them with your problems. 5. You only hang out on their terms. 6. They manipulate you when you don't realize. 7. Whenever you do something good they put you down and try to one-up you. 8. They are never happy for you. 9. They only tell you what you do wrong and not what you do good. 10. They blame stuff on you because it's okay you're their friend. Hope this helps. Do not allow toxic people in your life. I could go on, but I won't bore you. Have a nice day. Thanks for the gold, stranger. If they don't listen to you in conversations, but rather are sitting there waiting for their turn to speak, it's a deal breaker. If they are permanently an innocent victim, surrounded by wrongdoers, that's a deal breaker. If they are a drama mama or a drama papa, that is a deal breaker. If they only call you when they need something, they are using you. Deal breaker. If they are not happy for you when something good happens, but instead lament how they are not as happy, deal breaker. If they exclude you intentionally, talk about you behind your back, spill your secrets, those are major deal breakers. Shut it down. When they are never happy for you, when you achieve something you've been working hard for, and instead try to bring you down, are you sure you can cope with that level of responsibility? Do you really think you'll fit into that company? Allied to this, they are judgmental and badmouth you, and criticize you to mutual friends. They can't be trusted with keeping your problems secret. They gossip simply for the sake of putting you down, because that makes them feel superior. bitterness and envy. A genuine friend would be happy for you. When all the arrangements are left up to you, you do all the running, all the organizing, booking the cinema/theater, etc. You do all the driving, collecting them for events or nights out. They freeload without any reciprocity. They lack empathy. They expect you to be there for their crises, like relationship breakups, but don't reciprocate. They don't want to know about your stresses and problems. They only want the fun bits. They the life and spirit out of you if you start to feel stressed or worried at the thought of meeting up with them, and if you feel exhausted and drained at the end of the evening with them. It's not a healthy relationship. A friendship should leave you feeling energized and happy, not miserable. Being hateful if something good happens to you. Just lost a 10+ year friendship after years of one-upping, and this. The upside is that things got a lot more positive after cutting this friend out of my daily life. I'd highly recommend it. When they hate you for your success. Anything good that happens to you is a reason for them to resent you, insult you, belittle you. The best friends in my life, I'm genuinely happy for them when they get promoted or engaged or having something amazing happen for them, just as they are genuinely happy for me. Bad friends don't do that. You're not allowed to talk about your problems and struggles with them. For example, they will call you selfish or say stuff like how they or others have it way worse, so you're not allowed to feel down. But they always expect you to help them and listen to them about their problems, and you're probably a major or hole to them if you don't. Only popping up when something is needed of you and never returning favors. Playing the one-up game. Everything that happens to you isn't nearly as bad/good/interesting etc. as their experience. Trying to recruit you into an MLM. Having to find out if you're in one by asking Reddit. Edit. Since this is getting some upvotes, let me throw some unsolicited advice your way. If you ever feel like something is wrong in a relationship, don't let it simmer. Talk to your partner about it and try to work it out. And if you have to seek out advice, find it from trusted friends. Keep family out of it. From my experience so far in life, you should always trust your gut. I hope this helps those of you who come across this post. A lot of these are about the other person being. But here's one that's not. If they are always agreeing with you / always know about the same band / movie / TV show / game you're talking about. When I was younger, I had a friend, and if you took him on face value, he liked all the same stuff as me. But he had no insight into them. Like, he likes all their songs, dude. They're all so good, it's hard to pick just one favorite. Many people said he's a liar and to cut him off. He's a bad person. Can't trust him, etc. But he was just trying to connect with me, and I guess he felt like he needed to impress me. So I flipped the switch and started modeling behavior for him. I ask him what music he's listening to, and even if I have heard it, say oh I haven't heard of them, what's some good songs, you should put it on now, while we drive etc. Eventually this gave him the confidence to do the same back. He realized he didn't have to know everything to be cool, that the coolness came from sharing experiences and introducing people to new. That the feeling he got of niceness when I'd say, hey I checked out that show, it's really good, also comes with a good feeling for him. Whereas to many others in our group he was the annoying yes man and they'd just reject him and leave him out of. They never sincerely ask how you are doing, but you do. You show up to support things they do, but then they don't even ask about the things you do and never show support. They cause problems in the friendship and never talk about it or shrug it off without getting closure. You know who they are and where they are from, but they don't know anything about you or even seem interested. You have to constantly contact them to do things, but if you don't, they never contact you. They never reciprocate, leaving you feeling used. They get mad at you for something. You make an effort to be more conscious about it. You make a simple request and they completely ignore it, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. After talking to or being around them, you feel drained and worse than before. Something I've been struggling with, which I would love an opinion. I've always been the one to get my friends together to do things. I got sick of having to do that all the time and said, you know, I'm just gonna wait for them to initiate and see how long it takes. I went for 6+ months without any of my friends contacting me at all. Do you think they or I'm just the person to get them together to do things because that's who I am?